Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we are talking about items or luxury items that are least used in my closet. I think it is a new tag video or some sort of trending video right now, but I figured it's a good idea, so I would like to share these ones with you as well, and you can tell me what you think. So let's start, and there are things that I don't normally talk about too much, things like costume jewelries or scarves or belts and other accessories, shoes. So I focus most of my channel on like handbags, sometimes an LCGs, but these are really luxury items that I just have not used as much as I wanted to since I've acquired them. And yeah, I figure I'll just share with you guys. So in no particular order, let's talk about these pair of shoes first. And I think these are a pair of heels from Salvatore Ferragamo. It's a really beautiful pair of shoes that I actually bought for my wedding, and I wore it once for my wedding photo shoot. You can tell the sole's been worn a little bit, but not too much. And I wore it for the actual wedding, and I wore it to someone else's wedding, and that was it. And these they weren't too crazy expensive, I think, at the time, but again, they are still a pair of luxury shoes. And I've got several other Ferragamo shoes that I do actually wear a lot more frequently, and that's because they don't have such high heels. I feel like, as much as I don't want to admit, I am definitely wearing less and less heels. If I do wear heels, there tend to be those more comfortable like wedge ones, or the ones with like a bigger base that's a bit more solid. So I'm not very tall. I do like to have a bit of elevated platform or heels with my shoes, so that's one thing. But I definitely move away from wearing like skinny heels for a while, and especially these more formal, less casual looking style, I have not been reaching for them at all. So I think these pairs definitely don't do justice for what I pay for, but regardless, I still like to have them in my closet in case I am attending something formal. And the colors are still relatively neutral. It's in this kind of shimmery pink champagne color with rose gold hardware, so that's all quite nice and still very cute. But definitely in terms of shoes, these are one of the pairs I have not wear very often. Next one, I think some people actually go through the items that actually with tags on, and I have those ones too. So I purchased this Burberry belt, I think last year, as part of my sale. You guys can check out my haul video, and have not worn this whatsoever. I always thought gray is sort of a staple color in my collection, and I have a lot of gray pieces. I'm wearing a gray skirt right now, actually. So, and I purchased my Gucci Marmont belt maybe 2 years ago, and I wore that like a ton. So I'm like, okay, I need to buy something else just so I can switch things up. And I went ahead with these Burberry ones, and I think it's a very classic, you know, it's not too flashy because it is, it's covered with the coating, the gray coating. It's very pretty. I just have not used it, so it has been sitting in my closet with a tag on since I made the purchase, which is really sad. I hate doing that because I always feel like if you're putting your money towards something, you should use it and make the most out of it. Unfortunately, not the case. Not the case here. It's really well done. Like, the quality is amazing. It's beautiful, but maybe at some point I will do it. But yeah, I just thought of this one. I was like, oh yeah, that's a perfect example of a luxury item that I have not used at all, or very often at all. So anyways, this is it. Another thing is, I do like to buy Burberry cashmere scarf, and especially when they go on sale. So if you follow Burberry, you know their brand goes on annual sales twice a year, and generally some of the more seasonal pieces, even sometimes the classic pieces, do go up to 40% off, for example. So this one is a triangle bandana style scarf, which I really like. I do wear them during work time to time, like just to wrap around myself to keep myself warm. I've worn them during the winter times as well. But again, overall, I don't feel like I'm reaching to it as often as I should, just because I do find the pattern to be, you know, very classic, and it stands out as Burberry. So sometimes when I'm working, I feel a bit self-conscious if I have this wrapped around my shoulder, given now that we're all working remotely. Sometimes I do feel a little self-conscious to have this around me if I'm like in a conference, teleconference with my coworkers, video conference I should say. So that's one reason. And I have other scarves that I wear very frequently in the summer, in the winter as well. I like those chunky knit versions of scarves more often. I think I wear those more often. So unfortunately, this one and my newer one, which I purchased recently, and you can check out my haul for, was it Black Friday? I can't remember what it was for, but that one obviously I haven't worn at all yet because it's not that cold yet. I'm hoping to make an effort to incorporate them into my outfit more this winter. So let's see if that will happen or not, but definitely this is the number 3 items I have not used very often. The next few you guys might be a little surprised. So we can talk about this one first. This one and this one sort of go hand in hand for the reasons why. And I think, again, this is more personal reasons, not so much, there's nothing wrong with the item themselves. They're great pieces to have. I actually really love this Jacquemus bag, the Le Bambino style. I find it really cute and unique, and I really like this white color to it as well. The top handle is just really cute. At the end of the day, these two pieces don't get used very often simply because the color. So they're both really light in color, and I find I'm just not comfortable carrying these pieces when I'm going out with my daughter. I just find they're just too easy to get dirty, and maybe it's just in my head, but I just find they're a bit too delicate. I used it maybe like, I think a couple times each, maybe a little bit more on this one. There was a week over spring summer that I was using this more frequently, but other than that, for the rest of the summer going into fall, I have not touched these pieces. And like I said, it's simply personally because of the fact I'm going out with my daughter. I just tend to gravitate towards the darker color one, the ones that's easier to maintain. I would like to do another video on the pieces that I've been using a lot these days, so stay tuned for that, but have not touched these as much as I wanted to over the summertime like I planned, unfortunately. But regardless, cute pieces. You can check out my review on both of them in my other videos. So this might be a little bit of a surprise. Now this one here, you might ask, given the new recent price increase, I might even consider letting this one go, simply because, like I said, it's still in this brand new condition. I've not actually used it. I may let it go to fund for something else, but let me know if you think I should or should not, because it is really classic. I might regret if I do that. So we'll think about it. Another piece is this clutch. And this clutch is actually fairly easy to maintain because it is in that sort of caviar or scratch-free texture. And the gold logo, it's fine, and it's a magnetic flap. The color is great too. I actually really love it. I've used it maybe less than 5 times. The reason for this one is the closure and the way that you have to get things in and out is really not that easy. Because it's so narrow, it's like a flat pocket. It is not the most easy thing to get things in and out. In addition to that, you guys know it's a clutch. So it's not as easy to carry around. You have to always like be mindful of, you know, carrying your hand or carry under your arm. In comparison, every time I think of bringing a clutch with me, I always go with my pouch bag, which I actually do use quite often in comparison. So for whatever reason, this one just don't get touched a lot either. Maybe it just seems a little bit more formal, and also the fact that, like I said, it doesn't carry a whole lot. Plus, it's a bit awkward to get things in and out of the pouch. But I still love it. I love this color. I think it's great in some days where I'm stuck with don't know which bags to go with, and this is a really nice color to pair with a lot of my outfits. So I still do like it, I just haven't used it very often. And the next, that we're getting into like bags and other stuff, but the one jewelry that I want to show you guys is this beautiful full crystal stone one. So I do have a couple videos on Chanel brooches, I think, and this is one of the ones. I have another one which I wear very often. You guys probably see me with that brooch very often. It's in that larger size, and that one I can wear on top of my sweaters or coats whenever I need to. But this one, it's small, and this was given to me as a gift, and I always wanted to think of wearing it as potentially a necklace or other ways, like on my hat or on my, but I never actually end up doing any of that. And it just, once in a while, if I'm wearing something more fitted, more formal, I do like to use this smaller one because it's a little bit more delicate, and the full stone is just so shiny and luxurious. I really love it. It's in perfect condition. I just, again, don't really, like when I'm picking between the two brooches, I tend to go with the larger one in general. So this one does not get used as much as I want to, but regardless, very pretty. But doing this video, as I'm talking to you guys, I do feel like potentially it is a good idea for me to potentially sell some of these items just so that I could make room and fun for other purchases potentially. But let me know if you guys do that. Let me know if you think that's correct or not. I still love them, so part of me is worried that I would regret if I do let them go. But at the same time, they really don't get touched very often. There are a few pieces, like for example, this I probably wouldn't let go. My scarf I probably wouldn't let go. But you know, there are things I feel like potentially might not be a bad idea to consider. Okay, and the last, before we get into the two bags I don't use very often, this is a full-size wallet. Again, I don't think it's fair to really include this one in there because I did at one point use it very often. I honestly can't remember the name of this model of wallet, but it has all your card slots here. It actually comes with additional pouch as well. It's in the Damier print. If you guys are interested to know more about this specific Louis Vuitton piece, I don't mind doing that. I did do, and it has this large pocket that goes all the way down in the back, which is quite spacious and can carry a lot. I still have some old stuff in here actually. But yeah, so since, you know, we're now into the mini bags trend, I really have not been using my full-size wallet for the longest time. I can't even remember the last time I used this wallet. It's really almost the same size as a wallet on chain type of, you know, small carry, like small SLGs that you can carry with a strap. It's still quite nice. I think it's elegant. It could almost be like a hand purse if you are just going out quickly for a quick errand, but it's just too much work to transfer all your cards in and out of it when you need to. Again, like I said, simply because now most of my bags are not even as large as this, so it's practical reasons that it's very difficult to be carrying something this large in most of our bags these days. So that's the reason why. And now we're down to the two bags that I use very, very little. This one here, you guys know I talk about this quite often. It's the beautiful Coco handle bag in the old mini size or small size. It's the old mini because now they have an even smaller one, which is about this big, I think. But I actually love the size. I think it's a great bag. I think I simply don't reach for it too often because of the color, even though it's really bright and happy, and I love seeing it and taking picture with it. But normally I don't pick this bag to go out with me for whatever reason. So, and it's, you know, it's in the caviar leather, so there's no concern in terms of getting scratches or making it dirty. I think this one is actually really easy to maintain. But again, I think it's just the color tone that, nothing wrong with the color. Some people wear this bag beautifully. There are a few YouTubers and Instagrammers that I follow who has this exact bag, and I just love it. How the bags, how they carry this bag. But me personally, for whatever reason, is not one I reach for very often. And then with the Dior, again, super gorgeous bag. I've only used it once, and I did a very preliminary review on this bag. But again, it comes down to the delicate lambskin leather and the fact that it has so much hardware. I think to me, it just makes me feel like it's a very much of a formal or something that requires a special fancier occasion. Let me know if you wear this bag on a casual basis, because I think it's possible. But for me, again, I just think sometimes it's just hard for me to be carrying this to just go out for a quick errand, or unless I'm doing something a little bit more fancier, or going to a more fancier spot like a restaurant or something like that. Otherwise, I find it a bit hard for me to bring this bag out. I do use it quite often for, you know, videos, recordings, or pictures. But again, not a bag that I've actually used on a regular daily basis. So regardless, I don't think this is one piece I'll sell because I just love it too much to let it go. And yeah, but again, it's one that sits on the shelf most of the time for sure. But regardless, beautiful color, beautiful craftsmanship, everything everything was done perfectly too. There was no concern with the bag itself. But I just don't use it because it feels so delicate to me. So maybe when my kids are older, now I have a baby coming, so I really don't know when. Again, I think a lot of these pieces will be stuff that I would use for a wedding or something like that. But otherwise, you know, it's mostly the ones that sits on the shelf and looking pretty. So here you go. Those are my 10 items. I will list them down below in my description as well. This was kind of fun to go through them, but at the same time, it makes me think about